Now we shall move on to the villainous folk of Gantz. The main villains are legions of normally concealed aliens, whom the Gantzers are tasked to hunt down and exterminate with extreme prejudice. None have any personality and only exist to massacre minor characters and then die, so that will be that. Aliens aside, there are other baddies, a group of vampires that for some reason consider all Gantzers to be their enemies. That does not make a lick of sense. A new group of villains has emerged, but to speak of them would be to spoil the main intrigue of Gantz. So, let us move on with the plot! Now then, our story is centered on Master Kurono, who one day finds himself beheaded by a train alongside Master Kato, whilst trying to save a homeless person, and is inexplicably transported to the room of Gantz. Gantz, a mysterious black orb with a strange sleeping man at its core, collects people who have died and sends them to do battle with a slew of alien monstrosities that have started appearing all over the Earth, and our hero is one of these unfortunates. To do this, the Gantzers are provided with a wide array of futuristic technology, including suit that confers superhuman strength and endurance, and blaster guns that reproduce delayed explosions. I'm not quite sure why the explosions are delayed, but they make for spectacular killing machines, causing anything they hit to erupt in geysers of blood and viscera. Isn't it just sublime? As the series progresses, we learn that the Gantzers must accumulate 100 points by killing aliens, and in doing so, produce a host of options from the orb. The Gantzers can choose to either have his mind wiped and return to their normal lives, cash in and purchase on a much more powerful weapon, or bring back a person who has previously died in the game. Thus is the confusion lifted from your minds. But wait! It turns out that the people fighting are mere copies of the original people, with all the same memories. This creates the paradox wherein Kishimoto, who tried to kill herself, finds that her true self survived, thus allowing Kato to woo her even after the fake Kishimoto was very brutally slaughtered. On second thought, the fog seems to have gotten deeper. Of course, the main intrigue is Kurono, and his attempts to both stay alive and solve the colossal mystery behind Gantz. Hilariously enough, this mystery is in fact solved by another person who never even participated in the game. Isn't that just a bitch? Regardless, the series is split into two phases that serve to plumb the depths of Gantz and its labyrinthine meanings. I won't spoil anything, but let me say that the revelation is both totally unexpected and serves to pave the way for an even greater mystery. This will presumably be reserved for Phase 3, that began last October. Now, the laws of decency require me to hope that Kurono will be able to hold on until then. Screw that! I hope that every single one of them dies! And now it is time once again for the pros and cons. The faults with Gantz are perhaps more subtle than the average, so permit me to elaborate. Gantz is far too cynical, with its portrayal of the people. I mean, no one in the series, aside from the main characters, react realistically to their plights. Everyone is either a complete douche or paralyzed with fear. And the regular civilians seem not at all fazed by the rampant acts of invisible destruction and slaughter happening out of nowhere. The most extreme emotion I think I've ever seen them display at these natural bloodbaths is mild curiosity. It robs the deaths of any real meaning. It's like, hey dude, look at my chest, it exploded! Want to get some beer? Point being that it's hard to sympathize with these characters' deaths if the characters themselves don't seem to care about them. Also, they take a long time to do things. A fight that could be resolved in 5 chapters is stretched out over 20! Even relatively pointless things are given too much importance. Like, do we really want to see 6 pages of one guy being killed and then falling over? No! In this, the anime is better than the manga, since 20 pages are compressed to 3 minutes. It makes the action more dynamic, to say the least. However, Gantz has many things to its credit. The evolution of Kurono from uncaring, selfish brat of our times into a mature, responsible, and courageous man is truly impressive to see. That, my friends, is character development at its best. Also, those characters that aren't complete bastards are just compelling and enjoyable. Nishi and Kurono's Phase 2 team being the prime examples. Also, I applaud the depths of the mystery in Gantz. It keeps you confused and unable to figure it out through both phases. The best mysteries are the ones that reveal nothing until the very end, and Gantz does just that. I guarantee you never know what's around the next corner in this series. Finally, I very much enjoyed Hiroya Oku's art style. It is by far one of the most realistic ones that still manage to look incredibly anime. I know that's a paradox, but I cannot put it otherwise. Have a look and see what I mean. It is original to be sure. Well, Gantz has certainly accumulated mountains of shit and gold, hasn't it? It is infuriatingly slow, and the sheer cynicism of it makes you lose faith in the human race. But, ultimately, I feel it is redeemed by a gripping mystery, some very well fleshed out characters, and a world that is as living as it is absurd. There is quite simply no other series like it. In light of this, my final verdict for Gantz is a perfectly respectable 7 out of 10. If you can endure its slow pace, then I wholeheartedly recommend it. Oh, and be sure you can stomach its spectacular levels of violence and gore. Until next time, I am your cheerful torturer, the Anti-Viewer! Alright, that's it! Get over here, you little bastard! I'm going to show you the inconvenient truth of my boot up your ass!
1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indians, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little Indians, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little Indians, 10 little Indian boys.